Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I wanted to take a look at and discuss some of my personal favorite destinations in the Destiny franchise. Not everything is perfect in Destiny, but despite its problems, I really do love this game and the universe Bungie has come up with that houses some really great moments and experiences. Of course, a lot of that comes down to the locations and the set pieces Bungie has crafted over the years, and the planets and various locations we visit in the solar system. They've really done a great job. So let's go ahead and get right into number 5 of my favorite destinations in Destiny's history. Number 5 is the Dreaming City. Released with Destiny 2 Forsaken as an endgame destination accessible after beating the story campaign, the Dreaming City stands as one of the prettiest destinations in the entire game. Dear to the Awoken, the Dreaming City is where the Reefborn Awoken study and meditate on greater paracausal powers through dreaming, and the art design perfectly portrays what that would look like. It really does feel like you're in a dream yourself while you're exploring here. So many of the zones and lost sectors give you a sense of wonder and awe that make you want to continually explore, which will lead to various hidden areas and secrets. The curse cycle also added greatly to the dynamic nature of the destination and kept me coming back every week to see what was new and what had changed. I also really like how this was an endgame area, meaning there was a lot of tougher content in the patrol space, which is what I really like to see. I also really liked the Dreaming City's blind well activity. I think it was one of the better public event style horde modes that Bungie has made for Destiny 2. All it needed was more incentive to the loot pool, and I'd have spent more time running it. The Dreaming City also houses Destiny 2's best raid, The Last Wish, that is beautiful from beginning to end and adds so much to the deeper lore of Destiny. Absolutely amazing area. At number 4 is the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought was released during Destiny 1 with the Taken King. The Dreadnought was a massive hive ship that served as the throne world of Oryx and was responsible for slaughtering a large fleet of the Awoken. During the Taken King campaign, we would infiltrate this ship and track down Oryx to rid him of our solar system for good. The Dreadnought then served many purposes for the endgame through various quests, activities, and of course, the massive raid. The Dreadnought was the first destination to truly have hidden secrets behind every corner, quests that weren't obvious initially, and secret chests accessible with secret keys. There was a massive sense of mystery and eventual discovery to every bit of the Dreadnought, and it kept me engaged with exploring for much longer than I would have imagined. The Court of Oryx is still one of my favorite world boss public event style activities to this day, and I remember farming these events all the time and having 9 people take down some genuinely tough bosses. I really think Court of Oryx paved the way for more future public event world bosses that were great, like the Archon's Forge, the Blind Well, and Escalation Protocol. Of course, the Dreadnought is the place of what I consider Destiny's best raid, King's Fall. I know it's not everybody's favorite, but personally I think the assault on Oryx's throne world and navigating through his various puzzles and defeating his champions was incredible. It's not the most replayable raid, I'll admit, but it's still my favorite raid experience to date. Overall, the Dreadnought encapsulated the Hive perfectly with so much more context and life given to the Hive as a race. The lore included both in the game and through the Grimoire was some of the best we've ever seen, in particular the Books of Sorrow that are a must-read for anybody into the lore of Destiny. At number 3 is the Cosmodrome, the place that for many of us was the beginning of this Destiny journey. The Cosmodrome, while not perfect, always felt like home, kind of like the Tower. It's the destination I've likely spent the most time on completing missions, quests, and always the place I went to run bounties. The Cosmodrome is the most familiar to all of us considering it is Earth, but the way Bungie was able to portray this post-apocalyptic part of Russia was done really well. It wasn't a complete wasteland like a Fallout game or something, but it did feel abandoned and in ruin. However, the areas felt like they had mystery and a story to them. Every single zone, building, or chunk of metal had a story or meant something and add to the world building and the overall lore. From the various missions and strikes on the Cosmodrome and the many memories the community holds from places like the Loot Cave, the Cosmodrome will always be one of my favorites, and I can't wait to explore it again in Beyond Light. At number 2 is the Plaguelands. Technically part of the Cosmodrome with some overlapping areas, this time covered in snow, the Plaguelands were a large extension near the original Cosmodrome that had been quarantined for centuries due to Siva. But eventually the Devil Splicers found Siva, prompting us to return to the Plaguelands and fight the Devils. There are a ton of reasons why I love the Plaguelands, but the biggest one might be kind of silly. Snow. I don't know why, but snowy areas in games are always my favorite. Whether they be snowy maps in Call of Duty or snowy areas in Skyrim, I always love to explore them, and the Plaguelands here are no different. Of course the old Cosmodrome areas look great covered in snow, but the rest of the Plaguelands look fantastic as well. Especially the Archon's Keep area where there's lava flowing and it really makes you feel like you're in a snowy version of hell. The Siva aesthetic throughout the Plaguelands is also done really well, and personally, Siva might be one of my favorite enemy types. It's almost scary to see these vine-like red and black wires running throughout so many areas in the Plaguelands. Bungie really did nail the look of Siva and the Devil Splicers in my opinion. My second favorite raid ever, Wrath of the Machine, also takes place on the Plaguelands and has some incredible moments in the wall, on the wall, and through some more epic areas of Siva. The Plaguelands was also considered a hardcore endgame area, so patrolling was always a little bit more tough and had some great patrol missions and quests that led to finding flaming axes, and of course I could not forget the Archon's Forge event that in some ways did improve upon Court of Oryx, but in other ways didn't shine as much. Overall though, Archon's Forge was a fantastic event. The Siva Replication Chamber, where multiple Iron Lords fought and died, also didn't disappoint and is part of one of the best missions in Destiny 1. Honestly guys, the Plaguelands were just barely beaten out of my number 1 spot. But before we talk about my number 1 spot, I just want to throw out a couple of honorable mentions that didn't quite make it into my top 5, but are great locations nonetheless. Nessus, which is an absolutely beautiful planet full of some amazing red vegetation and great Vex designs that I think fit Destiny's universe really, really well. I was really hoping to see a raid on Nessus at some point, and maybe we will one day, but I really think it deserves something like a raid. The next one is the Tangled Shore, which is the extension of the reef that I always wanted. The scattered Wild West wasteland feel was perfect for the Forsaken campaign, and I still really love to explore those areas. Not to mention that Spider lives there, and he is easily the best world vendor in the entire game. I think the Tangled Shore is vastly underrated. But at my number 1 spot, we have Mercury from Curse of Osiris. Nah, I'm just kidding. We have Venus. Destiny 1's third planet we visit during the campaign is without a doubt my favorite destination in all of Destiny. I can't tell you guys how many hours I spent with my friends exploring every nook and cranny and glitching out of the map. I could explore Venus endlessly. In my opinion, Venus is by far the prettiest location in Destiny. The jungle aesthetic mixed with the Vex architecture blends so perfectly to nail Venus as a place full of great mystery, knowledge, and a deeper meaning. From the acid raindrops that form puddles to the intriguing Vex structures, Venus is beautifully crafted. The Vault of Glass raid, Destiny's first ever raid, took place on Venus and completely blew everyone away in the community. The depths of Venus housed some of the greatest areas, both unique and mystifying. Atheon's Arena, for example, is probably the most memorable final boss room in Destiny for me. Bungie nailed the Vault of Glass's design in every single way, and back on patrol you could come across fire teams running the raid and assist them in getting the vault doors open, then continue on your way once they'd got it open. Something that is still unique to the Vault of Glass raid. During Destiny's first year especially, you could always catch me patrolling Venus for one reason or another, and any time we ever had to return to Venus for a quest, I was always really excited to hop back on Venus, ride my Sparrow around, and travel to the various excellent locations. It will forever be the most memorable area in the game's history for me.
Why is the city breathing down my neck?
Why don't you put that down so we can talk?
Out here in the wild, this is how we talk.
But let me know down in the comments section which 5 planets or locations are your favorite. I'm personally really excited for Europa this fall because it's another snowy / icy planet that I'm sure I'll love to explore. Let me know if you're excited for Europa as well. Thank you so much for watching guys, leave a like on the video if you did enjoy, and I will see you all next time.